Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's take a quick look outside our weather window where our heat advisory, it made for a hot one out there all across north central Washington. This is a beautiful shot from our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera looking down at the Brewster and Pateros areas. You can see where the Methow River flows into the Columbia there, and lots of blue skies looking all the way up into Canada with just a small little cloud bank on the horizon. But many record high temperatures were set today, and as a matter of fact, the heat advisory has been expanded now. This goes, remember, until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The heat advisory now includes north central counties and northeastern Washington counties. Yeah, all of our viewing area, we are still included in that heat advisory. Just remember, stay hydrated if you are outside. Dress for the heat and reduce your time in the sun. That will all help you out during this hot weather, and we have one more day of it, but then big changes, and we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. And now here are a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Okanagan County health authorities say people who seek out illicit painkillers may accidentally consume the powerful narcotic fentanyl. What looked like an explosive device that was dropped off at a shipping store caused a hubbub in East Wenatchee last night. And problems on north central Washington highways over the Memorial Day weekend returned to pre-COVID-19 levels this year. But first, our top story tonight. Firefighters were still on the scene this morning of a late Tuesday fire in South Wenatchee that destroyed a two-story manufactured home and garage. Chelan County Fire District 1 spokeswoman Kay McKellar said a garage fire on Ridgeview Loop was reported just before 10 p.m. with crews from Chelan 1 and Douglas County Fire District 2 responding to find the fire had spread to the home. The two occupants were able to escape unharmed and are being assisted by the Red Cross. Both the garage and the home were destroyed. McKellar said after the fire spread to the attic, it became especially challenging for firefighters who stayed on scene through the early morning hours. Meanwhile, Okanagan County health authorities say people who seek out illicit painkillers may accidentally consume the powerful narcotic fentanyl. The health department says unprescribed pills labeled as OxyContin or oxycodone have turned up containing fentanyl as their main ingredient. In the last 2 weeks, several people seeking treatment tested positive for fentanyl, but believe they'd been using OxyContin in pills known as Mexis, M30s, or Blues. Law enforcement says it's common for fentanyl to be mislabeled as Oxy on the black market. Well, what looked like an explosive device that was dropped off at a shipping store caused a hubbub in East Wenatchee last night. Police Chief Rick Johnson says someone packaged up an inert hand grenade and tried to send it through the UPS store on Valley Mall Parkway. Store managers became suspicious and called police when they discovered the object about 6:40 p.m. Police closed off the 600 block of Valley Mall Parkway for about 3 hours until bomb technicians from the Yakima Training Center could arrive. Johnson said the grenade proved to be no threat, and there appears to have been no crime committed by the person who tried to send it. Well, problems on north central Washington highways over the Memorial Day weekend returned to pre-COVID-19 levels this year. The Washington State Patrol reported Tuesday that troopers arrested 27 people for DUI over the long weekend in District 6 and responded to 45 collisions. District 6 encompasses Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Okanagan, and Kittitas counties. It's the most DUI arrests in the past 5 years for the holiday weekend and up significantly from 9 arrests in 2020 when the state was in the most restrictive phase of the COVID-19 lockdown. The 45 collisions also were a 5-year high with only 17 accidents over the Memorial Day weekend last year. The worst of the wrecks was a Monday morning collision between an SUV and a farm vehicle on Road 4 Northeast outside Moses Lake. The collision sent 68-year-old Virgil Redwine, the driver of the farm vehicle, to Central Washington Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver of the SUV, 37-year-old Rachel Bylan of Enumclaw, was hospitalized with lesser injuries. The The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Byland failed to stop at a stop sign at Road E Northeast, and a suspected drunk driver had to be airlifted to Harborview Medical Center with serious injuries after a 3-vehicle Saturday evening wreck on Highway 173 near Rocky Butte. The State Patrol said 27-year-old Alex Martinizanos of Omak crossed the center line of the highway in his Volkswagen Passat and first hit a GMC Yukon and then a Ford Explorer before he was thrown from the Passat, which then caught on fire. A 40-year-old Bridgeport woman in the Yukon and a 12-year-old Bridgeport girl in the Explorer both were transported with unspecified injuries to Three Rivers Hospital in Brewster. Martinizanos faces charges of DUI, reckless driving, and speeding. Well, coming up next, a Yakima woman has now been charged with vehicular homicide in a Blewett Pass collision that killed her 11-year-old son and 2 other people last August. Work on the new Chelan County PUD Service Center at Old Station has been continued after being put on hold. We'll tell you why. And the time for outdoor burning has now passed in rural Chelan County areas. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used, to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today. Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Welcome back. In other news, a Yakima woman has now been charged with vehicular homicide in a Blewett Pass collision that killed her 11-year-old son and 2 other people last August. Chelan County prosecutors filed 3 felony counts last month against 44-year-old Marjorie Andrea Acevedo, who was summoned for her first court appearance today. State troopers say Acevedo was passing a line of northbound vehicles just below the crest of Blewett when her Toyota Sequoia struck an oncoming Chevy S10 pickup in the southbound lane. Her son Jonathan and 2 occupants of the S10 were pronounced dead at the scene. Acevedo suffered multiple broken bones. Construction crews at the Chelan County PUD's new $95 million service center in Old Station are back on full schedules after some of the work was delayed for almost 2 months by the discovery of a native artifact. PUD Shared Services Director Dan Fraser said back on March 4th, crews excavating the site found the unidentified artifact. He said a state archaeologist as well as the Yakima and Colville Indian tribes were notified of the find. The PUD then was asked to do additional archaeological work and shut down groundwork on the facility. It wasn't until May 11th that the PUD was given the go-ahead to resume the groundwork. PUD Public Information Officer Rachel Hansen said the type of artifact found is not being disclosed. Fraser said it's unclear how much the delay has set back the construction work. Ground was broken on the new service center last August, with work originally expected to be completed in late 2022. Well, the time for outdoor burning has now passed in rural Chelan County areas. County commissioners passed a resolution yesterday declaring a moderate fire danger for 2 of the county's 3 zones, dubbed the Chelan and Valley zones. This means no outdoor burning of vegetation unless you're in a designated campfire area, and take precautions like having water and a shovel on hand. The restrictions do not apply in the small northernmost Methow zone of the county. While you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News, coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front, for the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier spent part of her Memorial Day weekend touring the Wenatchee Valley. The pediatrician and second-term Democrat is based in Sammamish, but her district stretches all the way to the Columbia. In tonight's features story, she dropped by our Wenatchee studio yesterday to discuss her latest bill to help suppress wildfires with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins.
The National Prescribed Fire Act of 2021. We have recently seen a number of small wildfires break out here in this area of your district. So it seems timely. Talk about the act and what you want it to accomplish.
I'm very excited about this. I've spent the past, 2.5 years, as long as I've been in Congress, meeting with firefighters, going to sites that have had wildfires.
The National Prescribed Fire Act of 2021. We have recently seen a number of small wildfires break out here in this area of your district. So it seems timely. Talk about the act and what you want it to accomplish.
I'm very excited about this. I've spent the past, 2.5 years, as long as I've been in Congress, meeting with firefighters, going to sites that have had wildfires. We all have this memory of what happens now every summer, and it's getting worse and worse. This summer is shaping up to be a bad one, where we have these catastrophic wildfires, and so much of, at least part of the cause is that our forests have not been managed. We haven't let any natural burns happen for over 100 years, and so they're crowded, there's underbrush, which just makes for an incredibly hot, destructive fire. So it is widely recognized that one of the ways to deal with that is to thin the forests. And some of that's mechanical, but a lot of that is controlled burns. And you do that at a time when you're not at risk for having a catastrophic fire. And so this bill just finally puts real money behind it. An account, $300 million, minimum amounts that have to have controlled burns to really take this on, starting with areas, in the WUI, areas like here, where you have people and nature close together, and that puts our forests and our people at risk.
In the wildland-urban interface.
Yes. See, I've been here for a while. The WUI, Wildland Urban Interface.
Acronyms can catch up with you after a while, but that's basically the place where cities meet forests, cities meet wildland.
Right. So there's an example, for example, in Kittitas County, Roslyn. They have a big program going on. They're just right in the middle of forest, sitting duck, so to speak. And so they are taking on their own project to thin those forests mechanically and with controlled burns.
It's a real challenge, for sure.
Really important.
fire treatment needs to happen in the springtime, and a lot of people sometimes look up, see a plume from a controlled burn, and they get a little bit alarmed. Do you feel like we can overcome some of that resistance, and people will someday come to understand springtime is burn time, so we don't have summertime fire time?
That's exactly right. It's all about education, right? That the firefighters tell me that once they start doing this, they will run into people on the street that say, hey, it's a beautiful day. Why isn't there any smoke in the air? Because yes, the idea is do it when you can control it. And that's all about public education. Protecting people with asthma, for example. They need to know when it's coming and why, and ultimately it is a huge win.
This would also increase the Forest Service acres that are treated by the Forest Service and the Department of Interior. We mentioned that only about 3 million acres a year get treated right now by those agencies. So is there a target for what they should be required to treat if the bill becomes law?
There is a minimum on how much should be treated. That is more difficult to achieve in mountainous areas than in flat areas. But yes, there are minimums, there are incentives for states to get involved, and this also provides funding for some of the places where national forest, state forest, private forest overlap, so that we don't have hard lines where there's contiguous forest.
Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. And boy, wildfires certainly a concern with this dry and very hot weather that we experienced the last couple of days. High temperature today. Look at that. Old record 96. We set a new one unofficially at 98 degrees this afternoon. 23 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Don't have to tell you, it was a scorcher out there today. 64 was our overnight low. 53 is the normal low temperature. 96, as I mentioned, the old record back in 1986. It's now 98 degrees unofficially. 40 our record low, and that was in 1976. Sunrise this morning 5:07 and sets tonight at 8:51. Let's get you to that surface loop and show you what we can expect tonight. Once again, under this big ridge of high pressure that stretches all the way up into British Columbia. Going to see clear skies, a bit of a northwest breeze tonight. And look at these temperatures at 11 o'clock tonight. Many of these 80-degree temperatures, so it's going to be a mild one overnight. For Thursday, things begin to change just a little bit. This area of low pressure kind of flattens out our high pressure ridge on Thursday, although it's still going to be hot. High temperatures tomorrow in the lower 90s for most of central and eastern Washington. And then the wind begins to pick up. On Friday, we are going to see some windy conditions late in the day. Much cooler too, but still above normal with high temperatures in the mid-80s for Friday. So not bad for the graduations Friday night, just a little bit breezy. For Saturday, mostly sunny, and we will cool off another 10 degrees, much cooler with temperatures on Saturday only in the lower 80s. Most of the heat will move off to the east as once again, this area of low pressure shrinks down our area of high pressure. And Sunday, seasonably cool then too. Less wind. That will be good news for Sunday with partly cloudy skies. And then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, mostly sunny. Temperatures will remain below normal, but we're talking about 71 to 72 degrees. Still pretty comfortable out there. And as we get into Tuesday then, the end of our forecast, mostly sunny skies. We will get a little bit warmer as high pressure begins to build once again off the coast. We're talking highs on Tuesday about normal into the mid-70s. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now. And tonight, drop down another mild one. 68 is expected overnight tonight. 92 tomorrow, so it's still going to be a hot one. A little bit of a breeze in the afternoon. Downright windy then for Friday, Saturday. Sunday won't be so bad, but look at the cool down. About 10 degrees here and another 10 degrees on Saturday. 71 on Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny and 73, and then 75 on Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing. and cut high-energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. You'll have to forgive the Wenatchee Apple Sox for showing a little bit of rust after not playing summer collegiate baseball for 656 days. It certainly showed on both sides of the diamond last night. And the Northwest Star Academy beat Wenatchee 8-3. The two teams combined for 16 errors, 7 hit batsmen, and 24 men left on base. Joel Norman had the call on Sunny FM.
Well, it was a tough opening night for the Wenatchee Apple Sox as they fell to the Northwest Star Academy Nighthawks 8-3 in their season opener on Tuesday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. It was the first time that the Apple Sox lost to a non-league team since opening night in 2018. And boy, it was errors and men left on base that primarily did the Apple Sox in. Both teams committed 7 errors apiece, but the Apple Sox left 18 men on and lost by 5. They did steal 6 bases, but the Apple Sox hope to score more runs as they face the Nighthawks again at 6:35 p.m. tonight. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Lone bright spot for Wenatchee offensively, center fielder Enzo Apodaca out of Gonzaga went 3 for 4 in the leadoff spot and scored a run. Two teams meet again tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The only other game of the West Coast League last night saw Port Angeles hold on for a 9-6 win over the Highline Bears despite giving up 5 runs in the top of the ninth. Highline and Port Angeles had a game earlier today. Ridgefield's hosting Cowlitz in their opener, and Portland, the Pickles, host the Portland Gherkins in a game at 7:05. Well, it's never good sign when you tune into your favorite baseball team on TV in the top of the ninth inning and see a position player on the mound pitching. Such was the case for the Mariners in a 12-6 loss to Oakland last night. Utility infielder Jack Mayfield was used to get the final out for Seattle in a game that saw the A's score 10 over the final 3 innings. One of the few bright spots for the Mariners as their 5-game winning streak came to an end was Tom Murphy's at-bat in the bottom of the 8th.
This has some punch behind it, the opposite way. What a shot by Tom Murphy. He can be awfully scary. He's been heating up. He's really been swinging the bat well over the last week and a half, and now he goes opposite barrel. 6 home runs, 5 of them here in this ballpark.
Marco Gonzalez made his first starts in over a month after being out with an injured pitching forearm. He lasted 4 innings, allowed 1 run, 2 hits, struck out 6, and had a walk. Despite the way the game ended, manager Scott Service happy to see Marco back up on the bump.
I thought Marco looked great, really sharp, had good command. Stuff was good. I think he had about 6 strikeouts tonight, so exactly what we were hoping for. And we've missed him. There's no question about it. Just, he was going to have a shorter leash tonight. It's great to get him up to 50 pitches, and then he can build on that next time out. So, he put us in a pretty good spot. I thought our offense did some good things early against Bassett, who's been really throwing the ball well. Last time out, I think he shut the Angels out, complete game. And I thought our guys had put a nice rally together. I think it was the 3rd inning, got 3. Trammell hits a home run. We're in a pretty good spot there, but just couldn't get that final out in the 7th.
Seattle and Oakland playing the rubber match of that 3-game set tonight. Chris Flexen facing Sean Manaea. In other American League action, Kyle Tucker continues to hit well for Houston. He went 3 for 4 at the plate with a run and helped the Astros beat the Red Sox 5-1. Ryan McMahon scored on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 11th to give Colorado a 3-2 walk-off win over Texas. And Anthony Rendon's 3-run double highlighted a 5-run 4th inning for Los Angeles as the Angels beat San Francisco 8-1. Rendon finished with 5 RBIs in the game. Well, Oakland's lead in the West remains a half game over Houston. Seattle slipped to 3.5 games back out of first place with the loss last night. Well, the Wenatchee girls played their best half of basketball this season last night and trailed Ike by just 5 at the break. Cadets outscored the Panthers 30-14 in the second half, however, and posted the 58-37 win. Eisenhower was led by the overpowering play of junior wing Kiana Yesicki with 27 points. Wenatchee's Christina Blauman led the Panthers with 10. I had the call right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Loose on the floor, cross court to Schoengarth, a long 3-pointer, good!
Blauman turns. She sees two in front of her. She's going to take it all the way left hand and knocked away from her. She'll chase the ball down, and with another shot on the way, good. Well, you can't make it close. Make it from outside. Christina Blauman with her first bucket. Arms draped all around. Ogle finally had it, then lost it on a cross-court pass, and another turnover for Wenatchee. Cross-court pass to Yesicki. Drives with a swooping right hand. Good. Now to Yesicki, and she just puts on a clinic. I mean, she just left Blauman in her wake, and easy bucket for Yesicki. By the way, she has 4 in the quarter, 27 in the contest, 2:59 to go. Schoengarth stops at the paint. She'll put up the shot off the window, and good. Well, she'll show a little shake and bake herself. Weak side rebound here for Wenatchee by Sterling. Had the ball wrestled away by Yesicki, and then she makes the shot, and she's fouled. Holy cow. They're going to say no, time ran out before the foul was called, and so that will be the game. 58-37 will be the final here tonight. Other girls played last night. Davis down Eastmont 59-26. Moses Lake's Anna Olson drained 4 3-pointers for 16 points to lead the Chiefs past West Valley 71-26. Ephrata whipped Quincy 61-31. Okanagan crushed Cascade 60-12. Cashmere cleared Chelan 59-27. Leslie Moreno scored 14, while Carla Torres had 12. Bridgeport beat Entiat 61-53. Lake Roosevelt topped Tonasket 58-43. It was Liberty Bell over Oroville 58-25, and Waterville Mansfield notched a 53-42 win over Pateras. Eastmont Spencer Heimbigner scored 9 of his 22 points in the second quarter to lead the Wildcats to a 63-57 win over Davis in boys basketball last night. Garrett Long had a season-high 29 points in Wenatchee's 64-34 win at Eisenhower. West Valley topped Moses Lake 57-39. Quincy edged Ephrata 62-51. Okanagan clocked Cascade 80-65. Cashmere got by Chelan 65-56. Christian Lopez had 12 points and 8 rebounds to lead Bridgeport to a 49-38 win over Entiat. Lake Roosevelt took care of Tonasket 62-49. Oroville rung Liberty Bell 64-57, and Elmira Cooley Heartline notched a 64-40 win over Moses Lake Christian. Pateras popped Waterville Mansfield 63-43. Well, Wenatchee had a league-high 770 points in its third game in bowling yesterday to sweep 3 from Sunnyside. Final pin count 21-08 to 14-35. Kyla Hankins led the way for the Panthers with a team-high 233. Kayla Musgrove turned in a 226. Mackenzie Monroe a 204. Wenatchee remain undefeated on the season. Finally, the Wenatchee Valley basketball team split games in NWAC play at Columbia Basin Community College in Pasco last night. Lady Knights were led by 19 points from Grace Erdman in a 59-34 victory. 8-3 now on the season. Despite 27 points from Jalen Scott, the men fell for the second time this season, losing to CBC 82-76. That's a look at sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. On Thursday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we'll be visiting with Jason Browning, the guy who runs Omi Gardens. Oh me, oh my. Omi Gardens, he's got some interesting stuff to talk about. We love visiting Omi Gardens. It's one of the crown jewels in North Central Washington. Jason will be my guest. Of course, tomorrow is opening day of the 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Looking forward to that as well. Plus, we'll have your weather forecast and everything else you need. You want to start your Thursday live and local with what you need to start your Thursday, and by golly, we fill the bill. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be here live at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan, and that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.